Yes, we are here for Star Wars podcast. Eric,
It won't come.
what won't come?
My sneeze.
Oh,
I've been like this for 2 hours.
yeah. You have been waiting on a sneeze for a while. I was just talking about Mandalorian and Grogu, which they are coming.
They are coming. You're right. They are.
As a heads up, we are having some issues with our YouTube chat for some reason.
Gonk is having issues.
Well, yeah, but the group was gonna take the blame, but fine. Gonk is having some issues. He can't get some stuff to work on YouTube chat, so when we get into questions and stuff, it might only be through Twitch. So make sure you submit questions on Twitch if you want to ask any questions. I don't know why Gonk can't fix it, but
We don't know why.
neither does he. So
Nope.
I don't know. Sorry, Gonk. But we're back for Star Wars today, and hopefully you guys are all doing well. How are you doing, Eric?
I'm doing fantastic, aside from the sneeze thing.
Aside from the sneeze thing, yeah.
But I'm in a mood, Aaron. I've been watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars with my wife Jancy right here on the channel. Wave Squadron. It's been so much fun, and I can't get enough clones.
Not enough clones.
I think today
There's
is
so
going
many
to be
clones.
a clone
Clone Day.
podcast. It's our Clone Day.
Where our book was about clones. It was
Yep.
the Bad Batch book, which I believe was a newer one.
Yeah,
And also
was.
the first time a Bad Batch book has been released,
I think
believe.
so. Yeah,
Um,
at least an adult book.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So we're going to be talking about that.
Sanctuary. We're gonna be talking about Sanctuary.
Yes. And then there's also talking about some more clone stuff then. Some of our favorite clones.
We're gonna be going over our favorite clones.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you had some kind of other clone-related.
Yeah, I think maybe to get started, I wanted to watch a video.
Video.
Gonk, as long as things are a little bit better now, he's going to get this video up. This is called Star Wars: A Tribute to the Clones. Oh, and I wanted to, what was the name of the channel, Gonk? Can you show me what the channel's name was? I wanted to shout it out. Because this is available on YouTube. This is a person that does really cool edits. It is SWFT. Swift. So I've seen a couple of their videos before, and I thought this would be a good way for us to get in the clone mood. It's quite a good video, Aaron. I wanted to see what your reaction was.
Okay.
So I think we're going to get started.
Do you think this will change my mind of like my favorite clones or anything? Yeah. Yep. You don't. All right.
At the very least, it's going to add a little bit of spice and maybe a little bit of tears. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Let's see.
Let's check it out.
Let's go, Gonk.
Clone troopers unite! As war rages across the galaxy, the Republic's clone army strives for victory against the evil forces of the Separatists. Bravery, valor, unity, victory on the battlefield and in space. Clones are all that stand between the Republic and invasion.
It's the day I felt my life didn't have any meaning. I was just another expendable clone. Waiting for my turn to be slaughtered in a war that made no sense to me. We're soldiers. We are part of something larger. The most pivotal moment in the history of the Republic. We have a duty to follow orders. Sir! Yes, sir! And lay down our lives for victory. We are not independent of one another. We all share the same face.
Same heart, same blood. We're one and the same.
It is about honor. Where is the honor in marching blindly to our death? It is not our call.
They are Kaminoan property.
All you'll ever be to them is a number.
We're just clones. We're meant to be expendable.
Not to me. All right.
To me.
Oh, there it is.
Not to me. And not to any clone.
You should embrace the fact
Thanks, brother.
that you have your brothers at your side.
Clones, you may be
And the boys are ready to fly.
in force. Very different, each one of you are.
The soldier you become is up to you. Today, we pass. Today, we fight for more than the Republic. Today, we fight for all our brothers back home. This is our war. Let's get to work.
Helmet! On! We fight together. Brothers! I'll cover you. You guys blast them. No matter what, we are united. We are loyal soldiers. We follow orders.
I love the Umbara arc, man.
But I am not just another number. We are men, not clothes. Men.
I've watched so many of my brothers fall during this war. What's the point of all this? I mean, why? I don't think anybody knows. But I do know that someday this war is gonna end. What happens to us then?
Oh, nightmare. I love the
Can't say I ever
man.
thought much about the
These
war
editing
ending
exercises are so good.
until it did.
I served with the clones for many years. They're cunning warriors.
Loyalty means everything to the clones.
Are we all willing to just dismiss them?
Under Jedi leadership, they adopted a concerning level of individuality.
Will this interfere with Protocol 66?
No.
There's a possibility that the inhibitor chips have a purpose. Jedi. That we don't yet fully understand. Soldiers follow orders. After all the clones have done. All we've sacrificed.
These are soldiers who defended us, defended our worlds. You now wish to discard them, leave them with nothing. Is that how we repay them for their service?
We're good soldiers. We followed orders.
Stay back! No! Stay back!
Sir, we're in position.
And for what?
I know the truth.
Execute Order 66.
The truth, brother.
Open fire.
Don't do it, soldier! Nothing! Fight him!
Soldiers follow orders. It's bigger than any of us. It's all of us. Anything I could have imagined.
Camino was our home, and we destroyed it.
But
Stay with me, boss.
the mission, the nightmares,
Galactic Empire! Stop firing!
bodies everywhere.
All those cities, all those people.
Oh, the nightmare.
We're shooting at our own men!
Soldiers follow orders. Forget the mission.
Jesse, listen to me.
This is the end. Finally. Over. I only wanted to do my duty.
Jeez. Man, being called Nightmare for part 2 was so good.
I know. I thought that the end of the war
Match with
would mean an end to losing more of our brothers. But I was wrong.
Our lives have never been our own.
I spent my life defending the Republic. I've known no other way.
That time is over. The war is over. We have to adapt
And move on. Sometimes in war, it's hard to be the one that survives. We were following orders.
That is what soldiers do.
I used to believe that being a good soldier meant doing everything they told you. But open your eyes. We should be doing more. You know what makes us different from battle droids? We're not bad men. We make our own choices. But what we did was wrong. And we have to live with them too. The war left its scars on all of us. All we can do is keep trying to be better. More and more of our brothers are waking up to what's been done to them. Look around you.
This is wrong, and we all know it.
This is how soldiers are rewarded for heroic actions. And one day, every man in this battalion may face a similar fate.
I cannot just follow orders when I know they're wrong.
And I will not be a part of it any longer.
As your brother, I'm asking you to do the right thing. Stand with us. I will
Me too. I'll stand with you.
You can't win this fight. It's not about that. I can't just walk away. Not now. It's about fighting for our brothers. From this point forward, we are entering uncharted territory.
We will deal with any threat of a clone uprising.
The fate of all the clones is now sealed. I've got one more fight left in me.
And 99.
I live to fight another day.
Let's make the end memorable.
This is for the 501st. I'm a soldier, like you. You got your wolf pack back.
It was an honor to fight with you for something that we chose to believe in. We did what any clone would have done. We did it.
Who we started with?
You took uniform, faceless, nameless, numbered clones, and you gave them a real sense of individualism and personality.
The name's heavy.
Even though they're clones, clones are people. Everybody starts out the same.
Your armor, it's shiny and new, just like you.
But in time, as they grow up, they change.
And we came with the idea that we could have one guy play them all. That was a big challenge, and luckily we had an actor in D. Baker who could do it.
The cavalry has arrived.
You forget when you're watching it that it's all one guy.
We can do this, guys.
George reiterated, remember to make these stories hopeful, to give that to kids because they really need it.
There's hope for you yet, rookie.
Good job, Swift.
Good job, Swift. And his Patreon supporters. Check out Swift on Patreon. Yeah. Now, I saw that one. I'm like, that's what I want to watch to get in the mood to talk about clones.
Dude, the thing they said there at the end, like, to go from the movies where it's just like, here's a bunch of faceless army versus another robotic faceless army, you know, like, okay, yeah, there's clones. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean...
But what Clone Wars did, the stories they told, like, some of my favorite stories, like, they had in that was about the times you had clones not, like, following orders. It's, like, their best stories. The one they showed there where it's, like, what is it, Boyle and Waxer, where they're taking this little girl, where it's like, well, what are you doing? This wasn't part of your mission. This isn't what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, the droids wouldn't have done that. But the clones did.
Yeah. Because it feels right to them.
Yeah.
Because battle droids can't feel.
The line of, like, getting to fight for something we chose to fight for, something we chose.
Yeah. No, I often like to think back how I thought about clones when I went to go see, like, Revenge of the Sith in 2005, where I'm just kind of like, they're cool. They got cool armor, you know? Like, oh, they're going to be stormtroopers. Order 66 obviously was a huge thing, you know? But I personally never was like, oh, man, poor clones, or ever, until the Clone Wars and the era of that Star Wars storytelling literally changed it forever.
Yeah.
I mean, it went from, like, well, they're just these faceless proto-Boba Fetts that will be stormtroopers, or the archetype of a stormtrooper, and turned it into a different archetype, you know? Like, I think Lucas, when he did the prequels, was kind of going for the more stormtrooper feel, but it was only through the Clone Wars where we, like, I don't know, like, I feel like it is a true archetype in a story of in a mythology.
Yeah, the living mythology that we've talked about before, where it's like, this is what it used to be, and then it became this.
Yeah.
And they mean so much more now.
How much they mean, and how much they're used.
Yeah.
You know, how much they're taken advantage of, and despite that they keep fighting after is really, really good stuff. Yeah. And I think the whole video really shows just, and they said it, the talent of D. Bradley Baker.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, like, the idea that it is one person that voices all of them.
Yep.
Like, it does so well, and he gives so much character to each one. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it.
Me either.
And then he also at the same time goes like, "Ah," and he's like some bird or something, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I love that in the epilogue there, the Dave and George quotes really tie that video together.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big fan of creative edits on YouTube where people go in and they try to make something special out of all these compilations and stuff like that. I had recently watched a mall one where I'm like, man, I want to show this to Aaron so bad. We got to do like a mall themed one. And then when we were going to do this book, I'm like, I wonder if I can find a clone one. I found like 3 really good ones, and this was the one I think I like the most. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, it was cool,
Yeah.
and I love the editing style of the lines they had, the voice lines with what they were showing and stuff too. Splitting it among 3 different parts where it's like here's, I love like there's For the Republic. But when I got to Nightmare, I was like, ooh, Nightmare, and like pairing that with the death of like Fives. Where he's talking about like the nightmares, they're over, and then he passes, and you're just like that fits so well, you know, and like it
does,
you know, it fits with what was it? Was it Tup with Tiplar and stuff too? Like that story bit there, where it's like there's something there, and there's like these nightmares, these things that like I can't like imagine just having a thing where I can't control like Rex and Ahsoka in that moment where it's like I can't control what is happening here, you know, like it's scary.
Yeah.
It's got to be. That is a nightmare. It's a living nightmare.
It absolutely is. You know, it makes you think about the things that you can't control in your life. Like, you know, sometimes an emotion hits you and there's nothing you can do. You are going to act this way. You're programmed to do that. You're built to do that. Even sometimes you don't want to do it. But it still happens, you know? I definitely feel that in myself a lot. But, you know, the story of like what happens next, like the Bad Batch and you know, Rex and the various clones that end up in Rebels, and it's like that's not all we are. We're not just the army that killed the Jedi. Well, we can be more than that. That's really important.
And I find
there's a lot of people out there that have been used by you know, fascist dictatorships, you know, and they don't want to be that anymore, you know.
And you get to see multiple ways too, where like sometimes like clones move on to fight for something else. Sometimes they're like the homeless vet, you know, like we saw in like Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Like the future of the clones, like there's so many different ways that we've started to see them into like the trilogy era, kind of like going into that time frame.
There's clones like Fox that actually you don't really see them turn back or have any empathy or that they're like that, you know. Because they're all individuals.
Yeah, some are going to fall in line, some are not. Some are going to fight it.
Sure. But yeah, SWFT has amazing edits. Make sure you're checking out. And go over and give them a view on YouTube. Tell them Blind Wave sent you.
So yeah. All right. Well, from there, do you want to go into talking about like our favorite clones? Do you want to jump into the book conversation? Like, what are you thinking with
I mean, both of them are going to be
clone thing?
appropriate. Which one do you want to do first?
I don't know. The clone favorite thing was really, really hard for me.
I was up until like 2 a.m. last night. I was like, it's only going to take me, I don't know, 30 minutes to 2 hours to do my book. And it took me like 5 hours because I just kept watching compilations of stuff.
Really?
Yeah, but it was a lot of enjoyment with it. Do you want to jump into our clone lists?
Sure, we can do that and then go into the book after that.
Yep. All right. I got my list here. I attempted to do an order, but I can't do an order when it comes to these guys.
Yeah, and then I have. There we go. My 10th one here on this list, I was like, dang it, what's his name? And I was trying to figure out what his name was, and I was looking, and I knew what it started with, and I'm like, no. I think I can picture him. But I mean, you can picture most clones. They all
you can picture him.
A lot of them look very similar, you know. But
no, I mean, I have 10 on my list here. I don't know how many we want to go to, but I'm curious to see what's on your list and what's on mine.
Well, the thing I struggled with was, I wrote down like 20 clones.
Oh, okay.
But the reason is I wrote down 20 clones because I made like 2 lists.
Oh, okay.
Kind of trying to find who I wanted to like talk about, I guess, because I think it's easy to be like, okay, who are your favorite clones? And like people are gonna be like, well, Rex and Cody or whoever. Like you're gonna name off the Bad Batch, the Domino Squad. Like,
yeah, sure.
There's a lot of like clones that like we followed a lot.
Yeah.
But then I was like, who are the clones that like, that my kids aren't gonna remember their names? But if I mention something and they're like, oh yeah, I remember that moment. I remember that story. I was like, who are those clones that I like?
Yeah.
And I was trying to think about those ones too, that were like a little lesser known, I guess, and not like Rex, who is like around a lot through Clone Wars, you know?
Yeah.
So I kind of have both of those.
And you know, I mean, it's
because otherwise, why is Rex not your favorite?
I understand. No, I mean, anytime we do these lists, I'm always like, well, I don't want to go with the obvious, you know. But also, it's kind of cool. Like the galaxy forgot these guys. Like we got to remember them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the people that benefited from the work of the clones aren't going to remember these names, but we got to put them on our lists.
Yeah,
they might remember Rex's name. He's pretty consequential.
Yeah. So as I go through mine, I don't know. Maybe I'll mention both my number 10s or something. You know, I don't know what method to do, or I'll pull in people if you have another one. So. But you want to start with yours, or?
Yeah, I'll start with my 10. And I think that for that, it's a little unconventional because it's not exactly canon anymore. But I wanted to throw in for Captain Fordo. If you remember the clone from the old Genndy series, that like he never really spoke very much. He just kind of had these sweet movements. He had the double blasters. Like, he takes on General Grievous.
Sure.
And that's, like, the first time in my life, I think, that I was like, holy crap, that clone is sweet. So I needed to put them on my list on there. Even though, technically, like, I don't know if Fordo has any, like, canon stuff or not. Someone can let me know. But it's just, I have to throw him on there. He has the red markings. He has the double-bladed pistol, so you kind of, like, get that Django / what will eventually be Rex feel for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just he's up there for me. So I had to throw in Fordo just for it's almost like an honorable mention, but I'm putting him as number 10 on my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just go through I'll start with my initial ones, and then I'll mention later on like my lesser known like options that I had on there too. So I started number 10 with Cody.
Oh, Cody. Okay.
I think Cody's I like him as a clone. Yeah. I think he's one that like there's a lot of important parts and stuff with him and the stories and stuff. I liked him a little bit more when he showed up around Bad Batch and some of the story stuff they gave there.
Sure.
But a lot of the other times, like I'm like usually thinking of other clones more so.
I think
that I like more.
I think with Cody being so, I mean, he's the most featured clone in the prequel trilogy, right?
Yeah.
But he's also like, because of that, you feel like he's like an ideal that the other clones strive for. I mean, Rex is too. Sure.
Rex and Cody run around together a lot,
but we get a lot more like emotional investment with Rex, whereas Cody feels like he's more of like a role model the other clones have. They don't necessarily have a father figure. They have the clones that come before, and I think Cody is like the epitome of that, and the epitome of. I think of Rex, and I think about how much he struggled with Order 66. And
sure.
Cody.
Yeah,
you don't see that.
No,
you know,
you don't see that at
Open
all.
fire.
Yeah, they gotta do it.
Yeah.
No, Rex, like you have a lot more. I feel like maybe even we as an audience have a lot more emotional attachment to Rex.
Yeah.
Whereas Cody, I think maybe I don't have that quite as much. But I still like him. I like the moments he's in. I love him in Rookies. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Right? When him and Rex both go to check out the facility.
The Richie Station.
Yeah, and they do Roger. You know, they do that thing. Like I like them there together and stuff. But lots of times my thoughts of Cody also have Rex close with him too. So, but no, I put Cody at 10.
Cody's a good one. All right, I'll go to my number 9. My number 9 is going to be Hard Case. If you remember Hard Case is from. Do you have Hard Case on your list?
He's my number 9.
He's your number 9. All right, we'll do our 9 together, buddy.
Hard Case. No, I like Hard Case.
Hard Case is. I primarily remember Hard Case from the Umbara arc.
Yep.
He is the clone that sacrifices himself so that they can get out of that situation. But I love his. What does he say? He says, "I'm hyperactive. I think there was a leaf in my growth chamber."
Yeah, there's a leak in my growth chamber. No, I liked him a lot too. I do think about him with the sacrifice. Like him and Jesse, I think were together a lot for a lot of the Umbara arc and stuff too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I just like that how that moment also mirrors talking about Anakin and how he blew up a droid facility, you know, like inside of it and stuff too. But
yeah.
I liked Hardcase's like humor. I like them trying to learn how to fly those ships and stuff too.
He has such a personality as well for a clone.
Yeah,
I mean, all of them have
They all do.
personality, but you feel like his developed.
His stands out more.
Yeah, like his would have came out regardless of what Jedi he was under.
Yeah.
You know, or experience. It was like a natural like youngest sibling energy to him.
Yeah,
that I really enjoy.
No, I liked Hardcase a lot.
Yeah.
All right,
That's your number 9.
Yeah, good. Number 8 then.
All right. Well,
I don't think we've ever had the same number on a thing before.
I don't think we ever have either. Let's see if we can continue it. My number 8 is Wolf.
Wolf, okay.
Yep, I got Wolf as number 8. You know, in the Clone Wars itself, I always kind of feel like, oh, that guy's cool looking, you know? You don't really get a ton of him in the Clone Wars series. It's really in Rebels that I feel like I get endeared to Wolf a lot more.
Yeah.
I did learn, though, and I hadn't ever read this, but did you know that Wolf's eye he got that injury from Asajj Ventress?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently it was in like a Clone Wars Digest novel or something like that. But I never knew that. That dude went up against Asajj, got close enough, and survived. That's pretty badass.
Yeah. She's killed a lot of people.
Yeah. But no, the Wolf Pack, Plo Koon, they're a quintessential clone unit that I always think about when I think of the clones. So, and again, his stuff in Rebels is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. And we talked about the struggle of like, what is a clone doing afterwards, right?
Yeah.
And you do have him especially where it's like, well,
vets.
this is what we're supposed to do. We need to send this message off because like we don't want to be in trouble and this is what the rules are.
That's his duty.
You know?
Yeah.
Like he still feels kind of like that and there's
Yeah.
like that confrontation between all of them because of that. So
Yeah. I love the various struggles we have of clones that, I mean, they are bred for duty. Like it is against everything in them to defy orders, but the ones that do it, I mean, granted they have to get their chips removed and stuff like that, sure, but even then, I love that. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I love Wolf, so he's mine.
My number 8, he might be on yours too. I don't know, but he's 99.
Ooh, yeah.
I like 99 a lot. I like what he does for Domino Squad and like when he's trying to talk with them and tell them like trying to help them. And like he's like, I can't be what you guys can be. Don't give up on yourself, you know? Like he has kind of like this almost, it's like a weird mentor thing where it's like not even like, not one to, I don't know how to put it because I don't feel like he's like the soldiers they look up to strive to be. He's one where it's like he pulls out what he knows you can be. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Their heart.
Yeah. And then like even still like to his end, you know, like I don't know, just that character. We don't get a lot of him, but what we do get of him, and the reason that we get Clone Force 99 to be called Clone Force 99 is in honor of him. I really like that, and I like him as a character, and I like the heart aspect of a clone.
He's dude, he's up there for me.
Yeah.
I'll have to amend my list a little bit, but yeah, 99. I think that's what I was saying. Like he has the heart every clone could have. That heart gets battle worn and it gets battle torn.
Yeah.
It gets battle damaged, but he never really gets to go into battle. But he has the same courage they all have.
Yeah.
And you could say like, well, yeah, he's bred that way, but there's just something about him that like you feel like an eagerness to be included, but you never feel like he lets it like get to him. And the other clones kind of like, you know, I don't think they necessarily dismiss him. They seem to like, I don't know, at least tolerate him. But his interaction with Heavy giving him the medal, and then whenever they come back and he's told that Heavy didn't make it, it's rough. You know, it's rough to watch those scenes again. But it's only because you even said it in that video that we just watched. Like the clones have this feeling that they're expendable and that they don't really matter. And I think 99 is probably the one that feels that the most, but you never hear him say it.
No.
You know, he probably feels it, but he doesn't allow himself to go there, where the other clones will sometimes. So
sure. Well, especially being on the battlefield and seeing their brothers die right there next to him, you know, like they probably, even if they don't feel that they are, they get the feeling that they are looked at as expendable. You know, whereas he doesn't look at any of his clone brothers as being expendable.
Yeah.
So 99. Number 7 then for you. We'll have to figure out where your 99 is when you get to that too. So
Yeah, sure.
If
now
you have them on,
I
there.
do only have 10 on my list here, so
Okay, that's fine.
I think 99 was close to like my 2 or 3.
Okay. Well, we can talk about him.
Yeah,
again.
so I'll go through here. Now, I mean, I have I have both these characters on the list in the same spot. I mean, but just because it's Waxer and Boyle. We could probably say Waxer a little bit more, I suppose, just because we got a little bit, tiny bit more with them or whatever. But Waxer and Boyle, especially in their, oh crap, what's the planet they're on?
Ryloth.
Yeah, the
right?
Ryloth
for the little girl.
Yeah, with I think her name is Numa. I can't remember. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't.
Was her name Numa, or did she say Numa?
She said Nara.
Nara.
Yeah.
Which means brothers, right?
Yeah. Numa, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite clone interactions. If only, like, its conclusion gets me every time. She says Nara the entire time, and they have no idea what it is. And I love Obi-Wan's, it means brother. Like, she can recognize what they are to each other. And that's what lets her trust them a little bit more. You know? The battle droids are scary. I think the clones with their helmets on are scary to that little girl, but once she recognizes, oh, they look alike, she sees family.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that ties these guys together, is that, I mean, yes, they're the same person, sure, but they don't call themselves the same person. They call themselves brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and that goes with one of my favorite things, too, of, like, seeing the clones do, like, them making decisions and not just following orders. I think are some of, like, the best stories they have.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about Hard Case, and, like, I don't believe they were ordered to go up to that spaceship and blow it up. But, like, some of the stuff that they decide to do and the decisions they make and the choices they get to make when they're not just following orders, you know, like, are some of the best stories from the clones. And I love that. So, like, good soldiers follow orders. It's like, well, sure, but, like, Anakin doesn't follow orders all the time, you know? And he's a great, like, leader in general of his clones, and he cares about them, and he wants to get them out of there, you know?
And you can, like, you can see the 501st, especially people like Rex, like, they get that from him. It's kind of similar, not in the same way, but similar to the way that droids kind of model themselves after the people they spend time around. I think the clones do that as well. But, yeah. And then Waxer, I also love that in the second Battle Geonosis, that he has a little, like, little drawing of
doodle,
Numa.
whatever.
Yeah, which I always thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, he dies on Umbara. Yeah. He's the one that's against the tree when Rex is like, Krell said that it was battle droids dressed as clones. And it's like, he told us the same thing, you know?
Putting them against each other.
Yep. And that's, I mean, those are, in terms of clone stories, those are two very strong ones there, and that's the same guy.
Yeah, they are. My number, what are we on, 6? Nope, 7?
7.
Mine is Gregor.
Gregor.
You mentioned about Wolf. You know, I'm thinking about, like, Rebels and stuff, too. But, I mean, we get to meet him we see him in a couple spots. But, like,
we do.
The clone who gets left, you know, and, like, where he ends up in a lot of the story and stuff, too. And his also, like, his quirky nature that he ends up with, too. Like, I really enjoyed it, and I really liked it a lot. And I think that he was also one of we talk about Hard Case having a very unique personality, and, like, he ends up with a very unique personality compared to most of the clones.
He does.
I
mean, he always endeared himself to me just because of the fact that he was a clone commando.
Yep.
And it was a way for me to look back at Republic Commando that I love so much and see that again, but I didn't expect to where he went with that development. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the way to the end of it. But I really enjoyed Gregor as a character, especially when I'm like, oh, well, we'll never see him again. Like, oh my God, that was him in that story, and we're done, you know? Like, that's where it ends, and it wasn't, you know?
Absolutely.
So he was definitely one of my favorites, and, you know, sidestepped where I thought the ending was going to be.
Okay, well, my next one is going to be Cut LaQuaine. You know, the abandoned, not the abandoned clone, but the clone that abandoned.
He abandoned, he left.
The deserter, I should say. You know, one of my favorite things about the clones is they have a very complicated relationship with family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't have a father. I don't think they think of Django as a father. I mean, Boba does, which makes sense, but the others don't. They don't really seem to have a lot of affection for the Kaminoans.
No.
But they so often endear themselves to children. You know, like you get this way more in the Bad Batch, and we can get into that with other stuff. But Cut Lawquane, I think, is that kind of like first time you see a clone that wants to make a choice on their own, and it's about raising a family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which means that desire isn't. It's something that's inside of you. It's not nurture. It's nature. You know, and we do learn that those aren't his kids.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I think the first time I watched him, or a lot of us watched it, we all kind of assumed that was the case.
I was under the assumption, yeah.
Yeah.
Till we got more into more stuff and whatnot. But it was that one episode, yeah. I was like, oh, that's his kids.
And I love that episode. I love the like Night of the Living Dead feeling with the
with the commandos,
with the commando droids.
Mm-hmm.
I love Rex's arc in that, from like being upset about Cut to lying for him.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned like the effect that Anakin Skywalker has on a guy like Rex. I think it's stuff like that where Rex can look at a system and be like, huh, you know what? This isn't right. I wish I could make a different decision. And Anakin is denied those decisions, but Rex just does it. You know?
Well,
because he's in charge of his battalion. You know, Anakin isn't in charge of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But he's in charge of his battalion, so he just does it.
No, I mean, Cut deserting and having a choice. Like, none of the clones had a choice in what they were doing. They were born and bred and taught to be an army, to be soldiers, you know?
Yep.
And Cut's like, I don't want to do this, and I want to leave. So I do like that Rex respects that and lies for him to let him. And, I mean, we get to see Cut a few times in their journey and kind of catch up on what they've been doing.
Yeah.
And I really like that, too. So,
yep.
No, I think it's a really good one. I had him on my other list of, like, kind of the lesser known.
The lesser known. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
No, my 10, 9, 8, 7. My next one, 6, is Echo.
Echo?
I put Echo there.
I think we're gonna start getting to
some of the same ones and stuff.
The same ones here.
As I was saying, like, I think a lot of the clones, like, there's gonna be some that are like people have some favorites, and if you look at everyone's top 10, it's probably gonna have a lot of overlap
of similar ones.
of some of these higher ones. Like Echo, like his whole story, like
I mean, just the Dominant Squad in general.
Yeah,
you
a
know?
lot of the Dominant Squad stuff, you know. But Echo's like, what was it, the Citadel? Like that story leading to where you're like, oh well, that's it. That's another domino has fallen.
Yep.
And then you get into like a rescue where you're trying to follow the Echo, you know, like, and then him going in with Bad Batch, and we still don't fully know all of his story. I don't think, with him joining in with Rex at the end and wanting to try to like help their clone brothers and stuff, you know, like there's a little bit of a gap that we have from where Bad Batch ends with where Echo went. But I really like his story. I like, you know, what, like when Rex, I think he showed it in there, when Rex is like looking at his brothers and who he's lost and stuff, and Echo's one of them, and then like he pushes to try to save Echo. Like I really enjoy that so much, and he ends up being not the clone he used to be, and it's like, I belong with 99, you know, like I'm different. He's kind of a droid in a way now. So just his journey is like one of my favorites, and I'm very interested to see like what more stuff we get from Echo in the future.
Yeah, he really is kind of like he kind of personifies like what the clones are, like in terms of his arc. You know, he eventually just becomes a machine to be used, and then refuses to let that be all he is, which is what and that's what the clones go through. The chip in their head steals away from Rex's line he has, where it's like, we're men, we're not clones, we're not droids, we're men, we're people, and Palpatine steals that from them with this thing. And I think that you can really look at Echo as being like the main driving face of that. He's literally, his humanity is being taken away. But it's like, despite that, you know, like it happens to Vader, and Vader like loses all sense of self. It happens to Echo, and he just is Echo still.
Yeah.
You know, really shows how hardy the clones are.
Yeah.
With that character. All right, my number 5.
Yep. No, it shouldn't be
5s.
No. You're doing that for the meme.
No. I also had Echo on my list as well. But yeah, I'll go Fives next. Fives. Fives is my favorite for so many reasons. I love his nickname because he's CT555. But I love him for what he does for the mythology of the prequel trilogy. You know, this is a sci-fi opera, and Order 66 is this like curse that is given from the devil that curses this army, turns them, takes away their free will. But there's something about Fives. Like without Fives, I don't think Rex hesitates enough to warn Ahsoka that something's wrong. You know? And it's that truth that Fives spent and it's one of the best arcs of the Clone Wars. It's that truth that he found that breaks the curse just enough. So much in mythology and fairy tales, like truth can break through the magic, the evil magic.
Yeah.
And I think that's so, I mean, it's just a fantastic story, but it's so mythological to me that what Fives went through saves Rex, saves Ahsoka. You can say that Ahsoka's effect on Vader is enough that gets him, that pushes him a little bit more to save Luke. You know, brings balance to the Force.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's on your list.
He is on my list. He's number 3 on my list.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like Fives a lot. That story, that it's like a very conspiracy spy thriller kind of like arc too, is so good. But also like his journey from learning, like, not in Rookies, whatever the one technically before it in the canon is, when they're training, from there all the way to like him being like an ARC trooper.
Yeah,
you know, like
ARC trooper on Kamino.
Just him trying to grow and be the best like clone soldier he can is really cool.
He was the last domino to fall, if you don't count Echo.
Yeah,
but he was the one that lasted the longest, right?
Yeah. But just that whole story was really good all the way up to that final arc with him, and I don't know, I just really liked it. And Fives, maybe because he lasted so long compared to the other Dominoes, you know, like Heavy, you get a little bit more because you kind of get to go back when, depending on how you're watching it, you get to see them train, and then you have Rookie. But in Rookies, there's a couple of the rookies you don't get much time with. You know, they die early on.
It is very interesting because you know, whenever I watch reactions or something, everybody almost always does chronological order. But I remember being like, "Oh, Heavy was cool, but you know, he lasted in an episode." You know, we get to go back, and that's true George Lucas fashion to tell stories out of order.
Yeah,
and not let timelines bother you.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, Fives and Echo, just because he survives, I think is definitely someone that I think of the Domino Squad. But Fives more so probably, just because of, you know, he has a fantastic adventure. I mean, it does not end well, but he does. And as you said, like that line where like the nightmare's over as he's dying, it hits you so hard. It makes you hate Palpatine so much more.
Oh yeah,
and I already hated Palpatine.
I already do. I hate him a lot.
I hated him enough.
I didn't need to hate him
because
more,
of
but
Fives,
now
I hated him more. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
My number 5 is Boba Fett.
Clever. I didn't think about that.
Because he is a clone.
Yeah.
Right?
He is a clone.
I think that's
good.
I've liked him, and he's been like, oh, Boba Fett's cool. But I think Book of Boba, maybe I like Boba Fett a lot more, and Mandalorian. Like, I really like what they did with him and the Tusken Raiders. And
let's just say you would recognize my face.
Yeah. And getting a lot more time with Tamir Morrison and stuff was really cool and stuff, too. So, yeah, just Boba. He has a story, too, where it's, oh, okay, well, that's my dad. You said about Jango being his dad. You have that, and then you have him see his death, and then you have him wanting revenge.
Yep.
And then, like, we kind of have a little bit of a gap in a way with some stuff where we're not quite sure what happens.
I mean, young Boba in Clone Wars is awesome, and you're right. Like, I thought at one point, I was like, nah, that doesn't count. I'm talking about clones that aren't altered. But, I mean, he did have a father, and it's kind of the thing about, like, Jedi aren't supposed to have their family. That way they're not upset whenever they lose them, and it doesn't imbalance them. Clones don't have fathers to lose, but Boba did, and it imbalanced him. And he got sucked into the world of bounty hunting and being raised by people like Aurra Sing and Bosk. And
But, I mean, I cannot... Tell me you didn't get excited when he showed up in, like, Shadows of the Empire, or when he showed up in like
every time
Jedi Survivor, or any of that kind of stuff. And you're like, oh, what Boba Fett? Oh, my gosh.
It's always he always comes with a sense of dread. Because I know how you die. It ain't today.
No. Like him showing up in a lot of stuff is kind of like when like Darth Vader shows up somewhere. And you're like, oh my gosh. If Vader shows up in Rebels, you're like, you guys can't win. You got to run. Just survive. That's what you can do.
Yep. No, man, you blew my mind with that choice. That's a good one. My next one is Luke, the clone of Luke Skywalker from. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. I'm like, I guess. Are we gonna bring up Starkiller too?
Mine is Joris Kaboth. No, I was like, oh crap! What's an unconventional clone that I can think of immediately?
Another random clone we can pull in there. I was like, what do you mean?
Shout out to Luke, man. He was one of the OG clones.
Galen Merrick.
Galen, Force Unleashed too. I mean, I do believe he is a clone.
There's clones. There's at least some clones.
There are at least clones in there. I mean, and there's a pretty good idea that halfway through the first Force Unleashed, he's actually cloned too, because Vader like throws him out the airlock, and you kind of thinking like, did he die? Because he could have died. It very well could have happened.
Oh, maybe.
And I do love the idea that
we'll
Vader is experimenting with clones of Starkiller in order to one day clone himself.
Yeah. And, given now, Palpatine may let that happen to get more testing for what he wants to do later or presently.
Absolutely. Think we'll ever get Force Unleashed 3?
No.
You know,
I feel like they should just do it just to do it.
That's what I'm saying. Just
you
do
know?
it.
Like, guys, look, we're going to make a Legends game. It doesn't have to be canon or anything, but we just want to wrap this up. We're going to bring in Sam Witwer.
And Hayden Blackman, I think, was the name of the guy that did the first two. He says he's got ideas,
Who's the voice of Proxy?
David, what's his last name? I can't think of his last name right
Harbor.
now. Nope.
Harewood.
Nope. Collins.
Oh.
David Collins.
Okay.
Does the voice of Proxy. Yeah.
I was trying.
Yep. Okay. I'm sorry for my joke.
No, you're good.
I mean, now we're just getting into the heavy hitters. I mean, I'll skip over 99. We already talked about 99.
Okay.
I only have 3 left on my list right now.
I only have 3 technically. I have my number 4, my 2, and my 1 because 5 was number 3. So
yeah.
And I bet we have at least one somewhere in here that's tied with.
I have to get into the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch when it comes to clones. When they were first introduced, and I'll specifically talk about Tech. As my next one.
Tech.
When the Bad Batch were first introduced, it was like, that's the strong one. That's the smart one. That's Rambo.
That's Rambo.
There's
the sniper.
Yeah, it was almost like, they came with these archetypes, and
it's like a D&D party, right?
Like a D&D party, but as you learned more about them, it was like, and we'll talk about this more in the book that we're about ready to watch, but Tech has the added thing of being, I know it was never really confirmed, but he gives the feel of being neurodivergent, and there's not a lot of representation of that in media, especially things like Star Wars. But he has, I mean, it's like, his death is extremely sad, but it's also one of the most badass moments. When have we ever followed rules? It's one of the best sacrifices in the entire saga. And it gets me every time I think about it, every time I watch it.
Yeah.
But I love Tech. Do you have Tech on your list?
I didn't.
No Tech?
No.
Gotcha.
I only had room when I was doing it I was like, I'm putting one Bad Batch member because otherwise Bad Batch takes up like 5 slots.
I know. I limited myself to 2.
So,
but I also, I mean, I was a huge Donatello fan. I always felt like he was the Donatello of the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Because he's the tech boy. I mean, I like Don because I like the bow staff. That was
that
was my preferred weapon. But because of that, I was always like, I myself was never really a tech person or felt like I was super into technology, other than like compared to like my dad, where it's like, Eric, how do you plug in a VCR? That type of thing. But because I got close to Donnie and Ninja Turtles, I immediately endeared myself to Tech. And I also love that he is one of the few clones we get to see start to develop a bit of a romantic interest as well with Fee and the Bad Batch, and how tragic it is that is cut so short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. No, I guess like thinking about it, like you can be like, oh, Donnie's like the tech. You know, you're gonna have like Crosshair's like the Raph.
Yeah,
You know,
I would say so.
Mikey's probably Wrecker.
Yep.
And then you're gonna have Leo as Hunter.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I mean,
kind of get that. Yeah.
That's the thing with archetypes. You're gonna settle on those type of things, but even the big backpack that Tex wears reminds me of a turtle shell a little
Sure,
bit.
yeah.
You know? Brown eyes, yeah.
But no, I mean, I guess I had Echo already on mine, which are some Bad Batch.
And I
kind
also
of.
want to say I love his voice as well. D. Bradley Baker got to play around a little tiny bit with the clone voices, but it wasn't until the Bad Batch that he really got to.
He really differentiated them a lot more
Really,
with those,
yeah,
right?
really did.
Because a lot of the other clones kind of sound a little bit more
Yeah,
similar.
it did.
But these ones, like, like when one of them talks, there's no like, oh, which one was that?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like all of them are fairly unique.
In Republic Commando, you have, you know, the main clone sounds like Jango Fett, but all the other ones are voiced by different voice actors.
Really?
You know, so it kind of like it's like a halfway point between those two strategies of voicing the clones.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, my last one was, I guess, the Alpha. So my fourth one was Omega.
Omega.
Omega, I mean, for all the story and stuff that we got from her, where she started, where I was like, who's this girl? What are we doing with this? What we do through the whole Bad Batch series.
Yep.
Like, she's definitely a character I'm like, I really want to see and learn more about her. Like, what could she do? Where could she go? What kind of stories can we get into? I love the growth. I love watching her through Bad Batch and, like, those little bitty moments where she's, like, copying everything the other clones are doing, whether it's through instinct or her just, like, picking up exactly what they do. And, like, her catching on, like, how to fly the ship, how to shoot, you know? Like, her shots were also pretty good. Like, like there's, like, a little bit of, like, she's kind of like a Crosshair and a Tech and a Hunter, you know? Like,
It's such an interesting relationship she has with those guys, because I can't nail down what it's meant to feel like. It doesn't feel like they're dads. You could say it feels like maybe they're brothers. But,
sometimes
but
Hunter
even then,
can feel that way a little bit.
Sure,
when
I
he's like
get
wanting
you.
to be more protective. But the one that feels most brotherly is her and Wrecker's relationship, which I love.
Yeah, I would say that. You get the feeling of, like, not necessarily mentorship, but have you ever heard of, like, the Big Brother, like, programs that they will have for
Sure.
people?
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, we're not. It's ironic. Like, it's not that they're related, but they still have, like, its element of family. But they are more related than any family ever because they are the same person. You know?
Yeah.
There's, like, this element of, like, self-love between relationships of clones. But Omega and the Bad Batch one is so special in that regard.
Yeah.
And,
No,
I
I
mean,
love
as we heard from George Lucas before, like, you know, Star Wars is awesome, but you always got to remember the 8-year-olds that are creating ideals to strive for and things to hope for, and she is a vehicle for those people. You know, Ahsoka did the same thing in the Clone Wars. Omega did it for a very, very dark time in the galaxy to bring not just levity, but for kids to see themselves. You know, I think when we watch the Bad Batch, we can see ourselves in the Bad Batch.
Sure.
But kids see Omega. And sweet weapons.
Yeah.
And also open-ended. You know, a lot of these other clones on this list, I kind of know what they get up to.
There's a
And
lot
they're
that have
done.
their endings.
But who knows? Omega can go anywhere, right?
I don't know what to do with her.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Omega was my number 4.
Omega, sorry. The Amish electrician. Say it correctly. Omega.
Omega was number 4. Fives was my number 3. So I
Gotcha.
only have 2 and 1 left for me.
Me too. My number 2 is Crosshair.
Okay.
Crosshair is such a different type of clone. I mean, obviously, his voice, just the manner of speaking, you know, there's something different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It
like,
has that sinister
He
sound,
has a
right?
sinister feel in there, but he is one of, if not the most, I don't know, open clones that we get to read their book. Not open. He's a very closed-off clone. We get to go through with so much with him that we don't get to really do that with the other clones. You know, Order 66 happens and they immediately, like, this is wrong. We shouldn't do this. And he's like, why? Why are we doing that? Are we not hypocrites? You know, like we've been doing this forever, and now that we suddenly don't agree, it means that we don't do this type of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just takes him longer, and it's way harder for him. But where he ends up, especially that one episode where he's bringing the clone in from super far away, he's walking him the entire way
through the ice and the snow.
Yeah, and then he just, I mean, I sometimes let myself be bloodthirsty when I'm watching stuff like this, and I just wanted him to kill that guy, you know, and he did that for me. But yeah, Crosshair, I mean, obviously too, he has one of the coolest abilities of all of the Bad Batch and the clones in general, with his amazing marksmanship.
Yeah.
Being able to like put reflectors on hallways and use those.
I love that so much.
My only, real regret is not being able to see the Bad Batch together as a unit more.
Yeah, sure. Getting a chance to see them all together is so good.
Yeah. But yeah,
we kind of only really get that at the end of Clone Wars,
Just the tail end of it.
And then everything, like, we get to see them as a unit.
Yeah.
And then things start to fall apart as it goes after that.
And, I mean, we said it a bunch, but just do a video game.
Of all of them
do
together.
the Bad Batch
through the
game
Clone
through
Wars.
the Clone Wars.
Oh, man, I'd love it.
Yeah.
Get D to voice them all.
Absolutely. I mean, because they do covert operations, you could have him even be part of major battles that we've seen, and just have him do stuff in the background that if they didn't get done, it wouldn't have went this way,
Yeah.
Do that. Oh, why are you not doing that? Fund this, Disney.
Fund it.
Anyway.
All right.
Crosshair, number 2.
My number 2 is kind of what you were saying a little bit about Omega, where you're like, well, kids, like, we could view ourselves with Bad Batch, but kids could view themselves with Omega.
Yeah.
I think this character, like, watching through with my kids, they love this character and related to him so hard that I put Wrecker at number 2.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is why, like, Omega and him seem so much more brotherly, is like he has like this just, he's the fun uncle. You know what I mean? He's got that brotherly kind of feel with Omega. Like he would also lay there with like a stuffed animal or whatever, want to take a nap and want to eat and have their what was it? Ord Mantell mix or
the popcorn mix. Yeah.
Yeah, like Wrecker I think was fun, and like I think he was fun for my kids. But also, we get a chance to see him because he's the one they have to deal with the most when trying to get the chips out, where his actually triggers.
Yeah,
and I think having that moment there, and like even the book we have has a little bit kind of talking about that some too, but where it's like they talk about how like when we see Rex, we have a little bit with Rex with that too, but Wrecker we have it, and it's scary, and he's doing things to his own brothers. It's not even just like the Jedi. This is like to like his family essentially right now, where I feel like with the Jedi, there's a little bit more of a disconnect. But this group, you feel like this is a family. This is his brothers. The loyalties among them, and I think that betrayal really messes with him a little bit too. But
I would also say maybe the bravest clone, Wrecker.
Sure.
Because
even with his fear of heights.
I'm saying, he wears his fears on his sleeve. We see him confront it, and he's always afraid, but he always goes for it.
Why we always have to be up here all the time.
Like when I deal with a deep-seated fear that I have, it shuts me down. I'm not doing that. Why would I ever do that? That would be dumb for me to do. Wrecker, I think, can be accused of being dumb. I don't think he's dumb. I don't think he's stupid. I think that he just has different ways of thinking about things. But when it comes to his fear, you never see a clone face their fear so many times and pull it off every time.
Yeah.
So
no,
he's gotta be up there.
As far as the archetype goes, I know we talked about like Crosshair and what he could do, but like I love Wrecker just being like, I'm gonna pick this up, and like just like the first scene we had, we were talking about Clone Wars and like getting to see them be a group, and he's just pushing that metal against those battle droids and stuff, like just things like that. Where like, oh dang, tanks are flying down the hills when Deppa and Caleb are there together, and
again, that would be such a cool part for a video game where I can like send Wrecker to move my barricade,
Yep, it could be really cool. So, no, I really like Wrecker. He's definitely one of my favorites.
Well, I'll go with my number 1. Some might say a boring answer, but not to me. Captain Rex.
That was my number 1.
He's got to be the number 1.
I think
he obviously gets the most screen time.
We get the most,
but he gets just so much. And have you ever heard of someone being like, I don't care for Rex?
I haven't. No.
He's like universally like one of the most beloved characters in the entire franchise.
I love like his relationship with Anakin.
Yeah.
I love his relationship with Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
You know, I love like getting a chance to watch like just clones.
Yeah.
Like the Umbara arc is
Yeah.
just about clones
Mhm.
and them and their brothers, and getting to see Rex involved in that with all of his brothers and stuff too, of what he feels is right and what they should do
Yeah.
versus what the orders are from their
Absolutely.
general. Like there's so much from him, and then we get to see him more. You know,
I know. I was gonna say like there's that's already enough for him to be like the number one, and then because you just said Anakin, Ahsoka, Kanan. His relationship with Kanan is so good. It's so nuanced. It has an arc to it.
I pull, you shoot.
Yeah, like those two process individual trauma together. You know, it's so good. Rex coming back and being old man Rex in Rebels is one of the best decisions they ever made.
So good. I loved it. No, that was one of my things where I'm like, if I make a 10 list, I feel like Rex is gonna be my top. Like, there's gonna be some of the same kind of people that you think about.
No, I mean the only thing I could ever say against Rex is that in the Republic comics there was a clone named Alpha, and
like he was like the actual.
He was like they pretty much just made all right. Well, it's like George Lucas being like, okay, but I don't like the name, so they make him Rex. So that character never was able to make it over because we kind of already have him. You know, that's really the only thing I could ever say to besmirch his name. I wonder how he got it. How did he get the name Rex?
Because he was always running around like this.
You think it's a little, yeah,
with his two little pistols.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Huh. I never really thought about how he got it, but
it would be interesting to see that part. Like I do like sometimes you're like, oh, well, I get why they got that name.
Yeah.
But there's other ones I'm like, I wonder how they got that name.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
New Gen Nerd said, I gotta shut up my boy. Alpha 17, yes, is the Proto Rex. That's right. He was Alpha 17. He was the first time I ever seen the design of an ARC Trooper was Alpha 17 with the skirt and the pauldron and stuff like that. And then they just it was just done so well that when they started doing this, like, well, we have to do that. So we got the ARC Troopers in there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
A couple that I had on my other list that maybe didn't come up.
Sure, yeah.
Was let's see. I like Oddball.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Oddball.
He's one of the pilots and stuff. He has an appearance in episode 3, I believe, in the Battle of Coruscant.
Mm-hmm.
I think he dies in that fight.
He does.
But he has like I think a time or two in the Clone Wars where he shows up and stuff too. But I was just like, oh, I like Oddball.
Yeah.
And whenever he would come up in the Clone Wars, I was like, oh, Oddball.
Yep.
I also really liked Hauser. He was from Bad Batch. He wears the green,
like the teal color.
Yeah,
yeah. Hauser's awesome.
His story in that I thought was really good. I really enjoyed that a lot.
It's interesting with clones that you can like see a new clone and not know anything about them, but you're bringing a lot of baggage you place upon them, and you're usually correct.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting archetype of a character for Star Wars.
We kind of mentioned a little bit Jesse. I like Jesse.
Oh, Jesse, yeah, sure.
And like the conflict with Jesse at the end of the Clone Wars is, I don't know, just hard to have.
Jesse is the one that like Maul interrogates, right? Like with the Force mind probe.
Yeah.
And then he's like he takes the face of the antagonistic clone.
Yeah. And like you have him and the other clones whenever like Rex is talking about what's going on and who they are and everything, and you take off his helmet and there's that tear coming down and stuff, and I don't know. That last arc there is just so good.
Yeah.
And so sad.
Yeah.
I also like Kix, which I believe is the one who went with Tup, who had taken out Tiplar.
Tiplar,
I think is who he had taken out.
No, definitely love Kix.
Yeah, I like Kix too. Starts off with a lot of the 5 story and everything for that one arc. And have we mentioned everyone else? I think everyone else except for Sergeant Gray.
Gray?
We've mentioned everyone else on my list.
Sure.
So. But I liked him too, and that a lot of that has to do with I think a comic that we have read. And like we don't get a lot of Depa Billaba in the Clone Wars and stuff too, but every time like you get a little bit more clones, it's like you said, the baggage, like I bring them like, oh man, I know other stuff, like what it would have been like that they would have went through.
Yeah.
And then getting to see like his end in one of the comics was I just really like what he was doing and what he was wanting to stand for. It once again comes down to the choices they make,
Sure.
you know, and I think sometimes the choices they make is what helps to make them my favorites or not. And so-
Absolutely, such interesting characters. It was also interesting trying to like go through them and rank them against each other, you
Mhm.
know, because they are so easily comparable, but they're not. That's what makes them so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's my top 10 clones.
The list of our
and
clones.
Your top
You
10.
didn't put the Zillow Beast clone in there. Interesting.
No.
It's also
Just
technically,
Zillow Beast.
technically a clone.
Yeah, I didn't put Luke in there, and I didn't put Star Killer. and
Yeah,
I
I mean
didn't
Palpatine.
put Palpatine
Episode 9.
in there. No.
You put him in there?
No.
Oh man.
Trying to think of any other weird clones to toss in, but
I'm sure there's some in there. Yeah.
But
all of the oh no, never mind. I was gonna say like all the weird clones that Malak like absorbs in the final battle in KOTOR, but I think those are just like random Jedi. They just all happen to look exactly like the Revan that I use. So I think in my head I'm always like, oh my god, he made like Revan clones and he's sucking them dry. This is crazy. But that was just my dumb assumption. Gideon's clones, we kind of got there. Those are in canon.
yeah, there
We
you
didn't really get
go.
to see them do much. They blew up.
They
But
did.
It is out there. All right, well, that was our list of top 10 clones. We had some crossover a little bit there.
Mhm.
But I think now we're going to be jumping into our novel discussion.
Sanctuary. What? What?
Oh.
Gonk. Where are we looking?
What happened, Gonk? Am I looking at something? Oh. What is this?
I don't know what it is. Hang on. What's on the right there?
Oh, okay, yeah. That's right.
Okay.
Gonk was mentioning something earlier, but hey, I kind of have something I want to show you guys. This is the first cast photo for Spaceballs 2, starring Rick Moranis, out of retirement, baby. Bill Pullman, Lewis Pullman, Daphne how do you say the name? Zuniga, George Weiner, Mel Brooks, Josh Gad, Keke Palmer, and Anthony Kerrigan. Wow. This
Cool.
is so funny because this photo, I feel like it was made in reference to the Force Unleashed, or I'm sorry, the Force Awakens photo. Yeah, you got it up there. The Force Awakens
really?
photo with that they have R2 in the back there. They had everybody surrounding here with the script read.
That's cool.
This was one of our first things that we saw when it came to the sequel trilogy.
Go back to the other one. Let me see that. Okay, yeah, I like that. Yeah, they have all kinds of stuff around there with like the robes and stuff, the pizza.
They have a water cooler in a box, like R2 was in a box.
Yeah, they do. Okay. A fire hydrant and the
man.
robes. That's pretty cool. I like that.
That's so
All right.
awesome. I can't wait. I mean, when's the last time Mel Brooks made a movie?
I remember the last movie. He did History of the World Part 2, which was like
Yeah.
a series.
Gotcha.
Since 2020. I
Yeah.
forget exactly when it was.
I can't wait for them to just do a commentary on the state of Hollywood, because Hollywood I feel like has been weird for a while now, but it feels like really weird now, where like tent poles don't really work anymore. Like things that they think, oh, this is a sure thing. This superhero movie will definitely make $1 billion, and it doesn't. It completely fails. So the state of how franchises work and remakes and sequels and requels and all that stuff. I feel I feel like Mel Brooks is gonna come in and just kind of give his opinion on it with Spaceballs 2.
Spaceballs 2.
And that was one of my favorite trailer reactions we did.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had no idea
teaser
when
for
it
it.
popped up. I thought, oh, this must be a Star Wars thing. Nope.
I want to make sure Daphne is she was the Princess Leia character.
Gotcha, yeah.
Whatever. I can't remember her name. I'm trying to look it up.
Oh, man.
Princess Vespa.
Vespa.
That's what it was.
Princess Vespa.
No, that's cool. I also had heard that I can't remember his name. It was something I read where it was like John Candy's son was going to play Barf.
Really?
I don't know if that's true because I don't see his name on this list, but
Okay.
I was like, well, that sounds cool if that's
Yeah.
what they do with it. But I don't know if that's what maybe
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
they're not. I'm not sure. Like having some of these names in here where I'm like, okay, well, Keke Palmer and Josh Gad, and stuff, like, what are we doing with those characters?
Yeah.
Are they new characters or what? So
I mean, Pizza the Hut can't be in it.
no, he
got eaten.
He ate himself.
Yep.
So
It would
yeah,
be
I
good.
don't
It
know.
would be awesome to see Yogurt again. You know, one of my favorite characters in that is the priest that's marrying them, where he's like, "And now you will be together and holy," and then it opens up and he goes, "Holy moly!"
Oh, that's what it is. Holy moly, that's
I
what
don't
it
know.
is.
I think of that so often.
I remember that. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Gonk.
Thank you, Gonk.
We definitely needed to see this homage to The Force Awakens.
That's funny to have that too.
Cast photo. That's so cool.
I'd forgotten when you were like, oh yeah, there was another photo. I forgot about that. It happens sometimes.
Yep.
Mel Brooks is like 99, I think.
99?
I think.
Oh my God! Please make it another year.
He'll be 100.
He'll be 101 when Spaceball 2 releases.
101.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know if he'll be playing Yogurt.
I hope to see him at the premiere. I hope that he gets to watch it. He might actually, I don't know. He's a hell of a guy.
Yeah.
That would be a hell of a thing if, let's say, he doesn't make it, but his film does, you know? Huh.
Christian Bale was in what? Wait, are you making fun of me, Nexus?
What did you forget?
I don't know. It says Christian Bale was in it. I'm like, did I say something he's mocking me with? I forgot Christian Bale was in Thor one time. Or two. 2 times. 2 times. I don't remember. Maybe 3. Grogurt. They do a Baby Yoda.
Oh, I'm sure, man. Yeah, they're gonna. It's gonna be. I never really like focus on the negative too much or whatever. But when people like Mel Brooks tell me something they don't like, it's just some of the best stuff ever. So if he like goes hard on the stuff that I enjoy, I cannot wait. Like I say the same thing with like the Red Letter Media guys. Like I don't agree with them with a lot of their opinions.
Sure.
Damn, they're so funny in how they express it.
I can understand where someone's coming from, but I still like to laugh about, oh, yeah, I get what you mean. That's funny.
And yeah, you're right. He does it out of love.
All right. Well, with that, I think it's time for Sanctuary.
Sanctuary. Yep.
A Bad Batch novel.
So if you don't know what this is an episode of the Bad Batch, or I should say, maybe
Or an arc.
maybe like a 2 or 3 episode arc.
Yeah. I can see that.
Takes place in the middle of season 2.
After the discovery of
Pabu. They have their tsunami, and then this picks up right then. Unfortunately, that means that we don't get characters like Crosshair appearing, or Echo.
Echo's already gone.
Which, you know, I felt the same way whenever we read Brotherhood, where it's like, oh, this kind of feels like an episode of the show, but because it's in a completely different medium, I get to go inside the characters' heads a lot more, and this really gets you into some characters' heads, especially Hunter, which I think is the character's head I enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
In terms of the ones that we knew, but we had some, also sometimes I'm like, well, the new characters don't want to do it for me, and this one, like the new characters, like really did it for me.
Did they?
Yeah. So what did you think about Sanctuary, Aaron?
I mean, overall, I liked it. I do agree that it felt like a Bad Batch, like an episode that could have been in there, or an arc that could have been in there.
If you're a fan at all of the Bad Batch, this is a very easy read/listen, I think.
Like we talked during our top 10 about like tech and stuff, and like, he has those kind of lines of, I may not think the same way, but it doesn't mean I don't feel, right? Like there's some of those kind of things that we've dealt with in the cartoon. In this one here, you're kind of dealing, I think, more so with those for Hunter, where a lot of them is about what he's feeling and the protection that he feels he's obligated to try to keep for his brothers, trying to find a home for them to be and be able to take care of and stuff too. Like it's the stress he has and the worries he has of just trying to keep who's left together and alive,
I was reading a thing from the author, and he talked a lot about how Hunter, when he sees Hunter, Hunter is like confident anxiety. Like he's the worrier. He is always worrying about the next thing. you see characters like Wrecker, they enjoy their time.
Yeah. Wrecker's just there to have
Hunter
fun.
so rarely,
You know?
he so rarely enjoys his time because he's making sure that everyone else around him has the opportunity to enjoy their time.
Yeah.
You know?
But also, like, Omega is a big chunk of that he's like, we took this little girl and it's up to us to take care of her, so it's up to him to take care of her.
Absolutely.
So, like, even the beginning talked about that, I think, where I think it was for the auction. They're like, wow, I got to be in the kitchen?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you could just wait outside if you want to. He's like, well, everyone else is going to be inside, then I'll be inside too. But he's like, well, Wrecker wasn't going to be inside, but Omega was going to be inside, and he wanted to be in there to help Omega. Like, he has so much connection to her of wanting to make sure that this kid, who is also at the same time older than them,
exactly.
is taken care of, you know?
So cool. Yeah.
So, no, I really I really enjoyed getting into the head and just getting to see some fun moments with them. Like, I'm trying to remember exactly what scene it was, but there was some scene, I think it had to do with, like, they had people on board, and Hunter didn't want to help one person, but Wrecker was like, oh, I got you, and I'll help you and stuff too. And whatever the moment was, like, it just felt like Wrecker and Hunter, like, in the cartoon. And I was like, this just feels like a scene straight from, like, what we watched of Bad Batch.
I also felt like, at least for Wrecker, he didn't come across as, like, sometimes his intelligence can be played for laughs, and I felt like he was a lot smarter in this. The way he was like, there was that one part where he was like, using the village, the people to like.
Well,
distract
yeah.
ISP
He's
and
like,
stuff.
we need an explosion.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are we gonna do? Take off my helmet. It's like, what do we do?
Yeah. So I think the book did a lot for him. But honestly, for me, I loved the villains in this one, especially. I have it written down here.
Moten?
Well, yeah. The Father Moten.
Oh, Crane?
Well, yeah, there's Crane. No, I'm talking about, where did I put the name? Celia.
Yeah, Celia Moten.
Yeah, Celia Moten. Okay. Yeah, this, she's such a good villain because she has this thing where, like, she thinks she's, like, buddy-buddy with the Emperor. And I know the Emperor. The Emperor is not buddy-buddy with anybody. He uses people.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, I just love this, like, just complete disregard for, like, she comes across like a serial killer. Like, she enjoys doing, like, really evil things. I just thought this was a very, very effective villain for me.
Gotcha. Yeah. No,
and a great way to exit.
Yeah. No, I mean, the character I thought was good with that. Our first time where she's getting information and taking out Fee's friend.
Yeah.
And then the first time, like, the Bad Batch, like, meet her, and she just kind of comes in just not worried, not concerned, like, already owning everything, and, like, Fee uses the artifact, the monument, whatever it was, the mortar or whatever it was, to hit somebody with. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Like, that's what's important.
Yeah.
No one else, nothing else is important, but these artifacts are what's important to her.
You don't get a lot of female villains like that.
And her deity, her godhood thing that she has about her, where she's like, I like all this deity stuff, because I'll use it, and, like, They pair it really well with the ending.
Where the ending is great.
She wasn't a god. She was a shoot. What was the line? I know. I forgot what the line was. I'm sorry. Sorry, Gonk.
Hello?
But no, there was just something about it where it was like she was a demigod or something like that. Is like how they worded it, and I just like, that's really good. Because you're not as strong as you think you are. You don't, and like the Emperor sends his regards. Like, ooh,
I know
you got what you wanted. The Emperor knows you.
You got exactly what you wanted. Yeah, you got exactly what you deserve. Like a character like that, I enjoy watching them get their just desserts.
Yeah,
but that whole ending with, like, she doesn't even know who he is. Like I don't think they even say his name. Like the author says it, like the narrator says it at the very end.
No one knows who he is.
But she has no idea. That's how close you are. You don't know the right hand man. Of your best friend, pal, she.
Like so arrogant to like.
Yeah.
Oh well, I know this stuff because of a paper trail, right? And there's some big weapon being done, and like Yularen's like, wait, what? Like I love that moment when Crane's like looking into it, and Yularen's like just showing up, calling like, what's going on?
Yep.
And I'm like, oh man. So that, and then blowing up Crane's men.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, she was kind of a scary villain.
I think
you
so.
know,
Yeah.
like she was capable, which was a scary thing. I love that we stole her money to help Papu.
Me too. Absolutely.
I love that.
That was Tekken Fee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tekken Fee,
from her yacht or whatever.
I also really like the way that this story gives us more Tekken Fee moments. Like,
I really do too. I think it's going to enhance when I do a rewatch of Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Definitely.
like the brown eyes. I love we go to the auction and stuff too. And it's like, well, couldn't we have just done this? Like, well, yeah, but I wanted to see him in a suit. You know, like one of those kind of things. It's
always interesting when you get novels like this that take place like between things that you've already seen, and because of it, your characters can't necessarily change.
Yeah.
They can like think about something and then take a step back, which I think kind of happens here a little bit with a lot of the characters that we know.
Yeah.
But I always wonder what it's like for the author in those times, being like, man, if I had the freedom, what would I do? But they this guy has like, between these two things, go from there. He actually talked about like he was nervous to ask like, can I do Vader? At the end, he didn't think they were gonna let him do it because he was like, look, Vader doesn't show up in the Bad Batch. I feel like they did that on purpose. They didn't want him to come in and overshadow all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a cool idea, and he pitched what he wanted to do at the end. They're like, yeah, you have to do that.
Yeah.
So
it gets a little connection and stuff too. It gives the villain like the send off too, where you're like, okay, well, there's where she ends up, and you don't have to really have them interact at all too.
Yeah.
But it's like we talked about before. Like every time that happens, you're always like, well, I know where this story goes.
Yeah.
So when you bring in someone new like Moten, you don't have to like, oh, well, we could kill them, or whatever could happen, and I did like that.
Yeah. No, I also enjoyed again like the new characters, Sohee, and the clone,
Ponder.
You get like one. I like that we get kind of like confirmation, like yes, clones can. I mean, we've talked about a little bit, flirted with it.
Sure,
clones can have children.
Yeah,
they can do that.
We have
it's rare, but they can.
We have Gala or Sohee,
yeah,
and her masked individual that they're traveling with, which I think had one name at one point, but ended up being a clone named Ponder. And
I think his name was Kuto,
something like that.
Something like that.
And then we find out that she's pregnant with a clone, and I love that as one as a reveal a little bit.
Yeah.
But two, it also pairs well with the Force Collector that we watched recently, we read recently, where we traveled somewhere and we're like, I'm looking for stuff from the Republic era, like I got the best thing for you, me. It's like, what? Like I'm the son of a clone. It's like,
yeah.
And we're like, is that possible? I don't know. Like we just read that recently. So now we have another story where it's like, oh, maybe this person we see somewhere else later on, or maybe there's multiple like clone children out there that we don't know about, or who knows. But
yeah,
I did like that. I liked getting to know Ponder and Gala more, or Sohee more.
Me too.
I really hated the dad, Crane.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of my favorite things about the book too, is with these new characters, is they kind of like mirror relationships that we have in the Bad Batch, right? Like,
sure,
Crane and Sohee are kind of like a dark version of Hunter,
like Hunter and Omega.
And Omega. Even to the point where like Sohee and Ponder are kind of like a version of Tech and Fee that like works out.
Yeah,
it's like what would have happened if the thing didn't happen to Tech, So I like that the author did that to bring these characters in here as kind of like a mirror of what didn't happen or can't happen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that. The backstory and stuff, like there was a lot of stuff that Sohee did that I was like, oh man, she can do this, but like her dad like pushed her a lot, and we get some like flashbacks of what he had her doing and stuff too, with like the trap and stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Oh man. So like at one point she's like flying the Marauder and uses it like an asteroid to destroy a V-wing, and I was like, what the heck, this is crazy. But she was like a separatist spy. She was
I enjoyed how like the Bad Batch know the Empire's evil, know that it came from the ruins of the Republic, but still, when they come across someone that worked for the Separatists, they can't let that go. They can't let that go.
Well, yeah,
it's ingrained in them.
And one of the things that like bothers Hunter and stuff too is like how many of our brothers died because of the information you gave, you know?
Yeah.
So like even though we're like, well, we're both technically on the same side now because the Empire, there's still that I don't know, grudge from the past of what had happened, you know?
You fight against someone so long, I think that like leaves scars.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure. One of my favorite things too with Omega was Teacup. I really like Teacup. I kind of wanted Teacup to be around a little longer, but I knew it couldn't stay around too long, you know, because I've never seen this.
Yeah.
Look, what was it? It was a baby Gundark, or not a baby Gundark. It was like a miniaturized Gundark that they bred for like pets. So I just thought that was like one. It was something that was captured and caught, and she wanted to free it, which kind of can also resemble them or Crosshair or you know some of those kind of things too. Because Crosshair's not in this book because he's busy. Let's see, at this point, he's either with the Empire or is he swapped to being in containment now? He might be in containment now, maybe. I can't remember where he was for Pabu.
Yeah, me either. I think he's still with the Empire right now.
Okay.
Maybe it is containment.
Yeah, because we get close to that point.
Yeah.
But the stuff that she has with the little teacup, I thought was like cute, and then it comes back around to help, and I was like, oh, sweet, I love this.
Well, I mean, and it reminds me of like you know, it's like our world, like. For the first, you know, hundreds of thousands of years when humanity evolved, like we were, I mean, our children still see shining eyes and sharp teeth in the dark. Cats were the worst, you know, lepers could just grab you by the neck and drag you up into a tree. Wolves, you know, wolves would steal baby, you know, like we had all, you know, the big bad wolf it's in our fairy tales as an antagonist because of that evolutionary history we had with them.
Yeah.
But eventually we domesticated them and made them really small, and now we pet them. Just like the mini Gundark.
But no, I like that. I like that a lot. I think it represents Omega and her like hopefulness and her wanting to free people who are like, you know, it's her heart. We talked about like some of the clones and like 99 being the heart of the clones and stuff. I think Omega, who also was there, she probably hung out with 99 some, you know?
I bet you they got along really well. That would be a cool Tales of the Clones or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Check out.
But just like they both kind of have that caring nature.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that that's one of Omega's strengths. To the point that with the baby and stuff too, like they're talking about like Sohi and how they can't trust her and all this stuff. And it's like, no, that baby's family.
Yeah.
You know, like we got to help that baby. And Omega, like she has that clone heart.
She does.
I really like that.
It's not that she like because of her presence they develop these things. They always had those feelings. She can just draw them out. You know, they're these battle hardened warriors.
Yeah, they brought up Cut, by the way. I have that as a note.
Oh yeah, they did.
I just thought I'd mention that real quick too. We talked about Cut before.
Oh, I mean, it's not super important, but I really liked the final planet, Trith. The like covered in mercury, like industrial planet. I just thought, in terms of like landscapes and planets to think about, like, oh, I don't think I've ever heard of something like that before in Star Wars. Just really cool, evocative imagery. So I just wanted a special shout out that.
It kind of makes me think about I don't remember what planet it was on. What book was it in? It was a Battlefront book where like they blew up and like lava flowed through the battlefield. I don't know why, but I get that visualization too.
Solist.
It might have been Solist.
I think it's Solist. It's like it's like a volcanic planet, but it has like a thin shell.
Yeah,
I think what you're talking about.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I think Solist. But
Mercury is just such a. Every time I see it, I always think like we made this. We made this. This is like man-made. But no. This is natural. Ancient pharaohs would like put it in their tombs and stuff, you know?
Let's see here. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's one reason why we didn't like Moten. Moten was wanting to be a regional governor.
She was.
And I hate like every regional governor we've met. I feel like I hate.
Is there a good one?
I don't. Is there?
Not
Probably not, right?
I don't think so. There's been like incompetent ones, but Yeah, I think to get to that point, you have to have proved your loyalty, and to prove your loyalty, you have to do some dark shit.
Yeah, I suppose it'd be nice to have like a governor that's like Schindler. You know what I mean? Like the governor who's like, I know I'm in a position of being able to help.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm gonna risk what I can to try to help as many people as I can against the Empire. You know, like, but I think you're right. I think every governor we've ever met is already kind of brought under the Emperor's sway and willing to like do whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's to their greedy benefit, not even something for the Empire, you know?
It is one of those things where it's like, are there any good Nazis?
It really is, yeah.
I mean, there are, you know, I mean, Andor has, and the Rebellion is full of characters that once believed this and then changed their mind once they saw something, you know?
Yeah.
So there are. Irish Nexus, reading a question about the book, said, did you enjoy Omega's moment using her clone medical knowledge to deliver the baby? Great usage of her knowledge base that the series never explored.
Sure. No, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think I had a note in here somewhere, but I liked where, like, you had that one medic person who was, like, doing stuff. It's like, no, this is what you need to do. And I was like, dude, this is great because she was with, Nalase?
Nalase,
like, all the time with clones and learning all this stuff.
That's what she did
and,
all day, every day, pretty much, was go over that stuff.
And I was like, that's a really cool way to have Omega, like, it's knowledge that she would have that, like, Hunter's not going to have this knowledge, you know? Tech's not going to know this. Tech knows tech. He doesn't know people, you know? So I did like that. And it's like, use this.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool part. I did like that a lot, Nexus.
And Nexus earlier also said, and I want to see what your thoughts are. What did you think of it's probably one of the best moments in the book, the dream sequence with Crosshair?
Hang on.
Oh, you gotta get to that one.
Yeah, I was going down through my list
okay,
of
no
things
problem.
Too,
you go.
It's down here. It's down here somewhere. Yeah, I'll get there.
You'll get there. I'm sorry. You drive.
No, I don't know. Usually what I do is I just kind of take notes of my thoughts or like moments that stood out.
I try to do the same
as I go through.
Yeah. But I also so often am doing things while I'm listening that I don't get a chance to always do it.
Yeah, that's what this time what I ended up doing, because lots of times like if I'm mowing, I'm just listening and I'm not taking any notes. So like I'll be like, oh yeah, this part of the book was really good. But then I was like, what all happened? And I'm like, I'm trying to grasp at it.
I legitimately don't think I could mow without Star Wars books anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. It's just so ingrained in me that when I go to mow, I have to listen to my Star Wars book because we do it once a month for the whole year.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. So this time what I did is I had on like kind of just like a almost a mindless game. And I had my Remarkable app on my computer, so I just was typing up as things were happening. It was my card shop simulator game. I was just stocking shelves, I like doing a podcast, but I had my stuff where I could just take my notes. Cool. So that was good.
I randomly I was watching a video that I thought was awesome. It was a Minecraft video, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go play I never played Minecraft other than what we've done on the stream every once in a while. I'm like, I'm gonna go play Minecraft, and I end up just cutting
trees down,
cutting grass in the digital world while listening. But it was a really good, like, just go and let your brain turn off and do that as you listen in. So that was also enjoyable.
Before we get to the Crosshair stuff, one of the things I really liked was Hunter and Fee. Like, there's a lot of conversation between their mission decisions and stuff too, and Hunter's like pushing back against Fee a lot for like where she's got them and what kind of trouble they're into and everything. There was a line that she had talking about it doesn't bother you that we are in a tough situation. It bothers you that it wasn't your decision that caused it. So he can like push blame onto someone else and stuff. And he
definitely
like that.
has like a control thing, Hunter.
Yeah, and they talk about that a lot in the book.
does.
And there's a few points, and like I like when they're all there because you get a little bit of like, here's Omega get to say some stuff, and Tech kind of being like, well, yeah, you usually tell us what to do, you know. Like there was one, like I think it might have been the same moment where they were all like talking, and it's like, what, you guys don't want to be safe?
Yeah.
You know, like I've kept you alive and safe, and it's like, yeah, but it's always been your decision. It's never our decision.
Yeah.
We do what you want to do because like he's like the leader of them.
Sure.
And that's how they operated as a military unit, but they're not technically a military unit anymore.
They
They're
aren't.
just a group
Yeah.
of friends, you know.
But in terms of like his mentality, like if he's not the leader of the Bad Batch,
who is he?
What is he? You know, like that's kind of integral to his identity of who he is, because the clones have to define who they are, or else they're just told that here's another clone. They have to do that. So it's definitely something that, and then when you watch through the Bad Batch itself, even without this book, like you can see that happen. He does let go of that over the other brothers, and they all kind of like start to live a little bit more and make more independent decisions, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like the line they have was like, we're all here alive together. And then Tech responded to Hunter saying, not all of us, brother. Talking about how they don't have Crosshair here anymore. And Tech's the one saying that, and we know the future there too, you know? And that's always decisions that they're making, and it's tough. It's tough because like in this world they're in is not great for decisions. But like I really like Hunter and Omega talking too, where he's like talking about wanting a place for them to call home. But Omega kind of comes back being like, I had a home. You know, she had Camino, and she didn't like having that place to be. She wanted to go out and see more stuff. So like, it's kind of like you might want us to have a home, but she kind of doesn't. She kind of wanted to travel more. It felt like, you know.
I mean, she didn't fight a war.
Yeah,
you know, like she sees that and she's an adventurer. I think they see all the possibilities and see like how scary it can be. Like,
Yeah,
they know how bad it can be.
And here's a hidden place that's safe until it's not.
Yeah,
you know.
Yep. And the Bad Batch, by nature of who they are, we're always going into the worst situations. Yeah. No, I love. I mean, it's why I love the medium. Like I love the novels that can really get in and chew the thought process of characters. We so rarely are able to get that in visual media because you gotta take time to stop and then have them actually express it. Whereas in a novel, you don't have to stop. They can literally, you can express so many things in a moment because of it. I think that it really benefited. Not to say that and I only want to see novels from now on or something. I want to do the video game one too.
Yeah.
With it, but I really appreciated the novel format for these characters.
Yeah, because it was like when we talked about Jedi using the Force. Like you see them do it. But in the books, you get much more of a sense of like the exhaustion, what they're doing when trying to do it, like how much effort it takes.
Yeah.
And I like that because I think, there went Obi-Wan doing a big Force leap, as opposed to
Why
like
do they do that all the time?
in Brotherhood when it's like talking about like internally what it's like and how draining it can be or all the focus and all that. So
yeah.
I want to mention this because this felt like an episode moment. It was around the time of I think after Omega was trying to check all the work for the pregnancy and everything and the health status of the baby and everything.
Yeah.
There was like Tech and Fee together, and like Fee kind of like brushed up his hand and touched his hand a little bit, and like it talks about Tech like, man, is it warm in here? And he says, "I'm like, Wrecker, what are you doing?" Like it felt like he was trying to be like, I don't know what to do. And I love Wrecker. Like it cut over to him, and he's like, there's like a buffet or something, and he's like grabbing food, and he's like, what? They're free, aren't they? And it was just such a funny like moment that felt like from the episode, and I just, for some reason, those moments like worked well for me, and like you get more in depth in their head, but then you have like, here's a fun like episode moment, and like and it would kind of like rotate through a lot of that, and I thought it was fun.
Kind of be interesting for clones because, you know, when we're growing up, we often model like what we think relationships are after our parents, what our parents were like, but we also have movies and television shows and stories to aspire to and to, you know, like, do clones get like sex ed?
Probably not.
You know, do they, you know, how often are they encouraged to like go talk to girls?
Sure.
Like that type of thing. We know they do it.
Mm-hmm.
We know that, you know, there's like the clone bars and stuff on Coruscant, but someone like Tech especially, he's probably even more insular in that regard to other clones. So seeing it with Fee is, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun to see him be nervous.
Yeah, I really like those. I also really liked, there's Hunter, who is it? Hunter, Ponder, and Wrecker, I think, are on like a rooftop or something like that, and they're talking and stuff too. And like that scene I really like. It also is a scene where they dive into like Ponder and his past. wanting to know like what he's done and stuff too, and did he kill Jedi? And he ended up having like a shrapnel that hit him that they said didn't do any damage, but they think must have broken the chip.
Yeah.
To where he didn't commit Order 66, and he was confused to what his brothers were doing, and eventually
imagine
that whole conversation. I really liked it, but there's a moment where it kind of ends with that, and he's like, I think he met Sohi, and then it's like, and after we ran, and then like Hunter like thinks to himself, and then after we ran, and that whole moment, like think about almost any of the like so many characters where like something happens, and like and after, what did we do? We ran because what else could we do?
Yeah.
And I really thought that resonated really well. But I like that in those moments, Wrecker was like, I don't want to hear about all this. Tell me about the wedding. Like he wanted to hear something happier, you know. And I really enjoyed. Like I said, I think Wrecker is one of my favorites because of like connection with the kids and how much they enjoy him. But like that, we said about like I don't think he's stupid. I don't think so either. But I think he enjoys the simple things, and he doesn't want to always talk about like what's bad. He likes to also enjoy what's good. That's why he's like, what's his line he has where it's like, I don't just like food and explosions. I like the size of the explosion and how good the food tastes. And it's just so funny, and it definitely one of my favorites of those.
Absolutely relate with him there. That's how I feel about Star Wars.
Yeah.
We have that guy B in YouTube chat said, I don't have a single person I know who views Star Wars this way, so I'm happy to have this outlet.
Well, thank you, that guy.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel the same way Wrecker does about food and explosions when it comes to Star Wars. Man. It's very much like I used to love church. I used to love Bible study. And even though that's not an important part of my life anymore, like I feel like I get it here.
Sure.
So welcome, brother.
Oh yeah, there's my note about the food. I did like Wrecker with the baby. The two moments I'll mention with that was about like I think they named the baby Koru.
Yeah, I think so.
It was like, this is Koru, my beautiful niece, and he like booping the baby and stuff too. He's like, you like the sound of Uncle Wrecker, don't you? And then later on, whenever they're with Ponder, and Ponder like, oh, he was a sniper, and they're doing some stuff, and then he's like pinned down, and Wrecker's like looking at him. He's like, just go, I'll hold him as long as I can. And he's like, Koru would never forgive her uncle if I didn't bring her daddy home. And he's like, picks up metal, picks up the Ponder, and takes off running.
Yeah.
I really like his connection to like. And I think it stems from Omega too, being like, that's our family. They all look at it as like, that's our brother, and that's my niece, you know. And I like that a lot.
How did you? I think that we both get the same feeling whenever we start listening to this book, and you go, Mark Thompson. How'd you feel Mark did?
I put a tweet out on this one too.
Did you?
Because I was like, I think I get excited every time I hear Mark Thompson's in working on one of these. I found out too, like he's done like voices, like he doesn't just do books. He does voice acting. He's the voice of Gengar in the Pokemon series and stuff like that, and like some other characters and stuff too. And I was like, oh man,
what does Gengar sound like? Doesn't he just kind of like laugh?
Yeah,
that's funny. Okay, I'll have to listen out for Gengar.
But
that guy reads me Star Wars.
But yeah, no, I thought like his Wrecker, his Crosshair, his tech, like I thought the voices for this were really good.
Yeah.
And usually I feel like that with Mark Thompson, and like I think it's harder for him to do like Fee, but I think he did Fee pretty well, you know.
Same with Omega. I think it's a little harder for him to do it, but he does this thing where you don't feel like he's necessarily doing an impression, but he still sounds like the characters. I don't know how that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, it's like sometimes he doesn't sound like him, but I can hear the character in there.
Yeah, it's like he brought out the character, but not an impression necessarily, right? But I felt like Wrecker felt like Wrecker.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I think Tech felt pretty good too.
Tech was good.
Yeah, but no, I'm always excited for Mark Thompson to do.
You could have heard more Crosshair.
Yeah. I'm trying to find where my notes were because there was some stuff I really liked that happened in that one there.
Next, there's a video on YouTube of Mark at a con signing a giant Gengar card, and he's wearing like a Gengar Halloween shirt. Okay, I'll have to check that out, Nexus.
Awesome.
But yeah, big fan of Mark just because of what we've checked out on Badonkagonk here.
Yeah. I'll go past a few things here, but yeah, the there's like a dream. So okay, that's why it's down here. That's right.
Yeah.
I guess before that, then now I know where I am in the book. I was like, wait, where are my notes at? Where am I at here? What were your thoughts? There was like a Jedi play. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting, but also weird. But I mean, like,
I like any time we get expressions of art from a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
There was like sounds that they said were like coming from like armpits, like the lightsaber laser hum and like the blaster things, and I was like, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
And I was just okay, but yeah, and you also get like little glimpses of like how people feel about the Jedi and stuff too. I think, and it's
always
interesting to see.
Yeah, it's always interesting when we get those things. I like comparing them. You know, some authors. I have a hard time saying author instead of Arthur. Author, but some of them like will have the general public or people be a lot more hard on the Jedi. Some of them look back a little bit more with affection or whatever. But yeah, I do like the expressions of art we get to see in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I like that. That was one of the last things I think I had before things started to really come to a head with a lot of the action moments and stuff too, which I mentioned about Wrecker and Ponder with the sniping and stuff like that too. But I also really enjoyed the tech fight against Parlin, a Kithar, I believe. His name was Parlin. I think that's who he was
I didn't write it
fighting.
down.
But like, I don't know. At one point they were talking about like if he was gonna eat him and stuff. Like I don't know. There was some weird stuff with that. But I enjoyed like Tech was like buying time until he could like I think Fee was trying to get to like the command center or whatever kind of thing and like get something triggered. But there was so much where it's like, the smart guy. You think you can fight me? You can't beat me. And Tech has like this moment where it's like, we may all have our specializations, but one thing that you should know about us clones is that we're all good at everything. And he
gets such great lines.
He's like, I'm familiar with 14 different styles of unarmed combat and 89% of my way to my own signature style. And then he just like kicks his butt. And I was like, this is so cool to have a moment with Tech being able to be the fighter and stuff. Because so often, even in the animation, he is the guy doing the computers, doing the hacking,
he falls into a role.
Yeah, so often. And you have like, it's Hunter and Wrecker that are holding people back. It's Crosshair sniping and doing stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really liked that, and coming from Tech, like getting a moment to shine in a fight, I thought was really cool too.
I wonder how close of the percentage he got to his own distinctive fighting style before the end.
Yeah, I don't know, because there's a little bit of time. 89% to his signature style, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the moment you got was anger's the best bomb I know. That was the moment. He's like, soldiers are here to take my credits. They're gonna take yours too.
I love that one so much. I love it. You know,
but like it is like a switching of roles a little bit, right?
A little bit,
like when you think like what Tech was saying there, like it's not Wrecker fighting his way out. He's thinking of an idea.
Yeah.
And it may be a little bit more of a simple idea, but he's like, hey, here's an idea of how to get out of here.
No, I mean, I think the series itself did this as well, but they're introduced in these very like kind of broad archetypes, and the interesting thing about them is how far they get away from those. You know, and yeah, I definitely get that with Wrecker in there.
And then my next thing was like, we cut back over to Hunter, and he's sitting on the nose of the Marauder, and I was like, oh, this is weird. I thought he was like unconscious, and it's like he's young, and there's Crosshair with him, and he's young too, and I don't know, their conversation I really liked. Like, it's all inside Hunter and like his feelings and stuff too. Like Crosshair, who like there's some stuff that Crosshair says that he has said before, but like he had like that soft spot of yours is gonna get us in trouble, and like maybe it has, maybe that's what Hunter's afraid of is him being too soft and not pushing enough. But I really loved the like after we kind of have that kind of moment, like he says to him, "You aren't a good soldier anymore." And then they kind of have I think they have a couple more lines, but then Crosshair says, being a good person is better. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, I know it's not actually Crosshair saying this right now, you know, but it's Hunter in his subconscious kind of talking to himself through his brother a little bit, where it's like, you don't need to be a good soldier. You need to be a good person. And I really liked it. And it coming from Crosshair in a way was also like, it hit really well.
You know, we've talked before, Aaron, about how you don't often dream all that much. And I know how this would hit you. Like, I often dream of conversations with people that are no longer with me. You know, I dream of talking with my mom about things that are happening in my life right now, and that happens all the time. So reading this one really hit me hard.
Yeah.
I don't know if that ever happens to you or not.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I feel like my dreams are nonsense. You know, like random stuff.
Mine are
or
mostly
whatever.
nonsense. But I that it's like what you said. Like, he's not speaking with Crosshair. He's speaking with himself. But Crosshair is an avatar to push him in a thing that he's not comfortable addressing by himself.
Yeah.
But he is. That is his brain. That is his brain, his mind trying to figure out through all the cobwebs in there what he needs to say to himself.
Yeah. Well,
and he does it in the voice of his lost brother.
And then there's a moment there where it's like, I need to tell him, like, Hunter couldn't say what he wanted to in the dream.
Yeah.
Like, and I, you know, like there's a moment where it's like, I want to say this to Crosshair, and whether it's the dream or Hunter holding himself back or whatever, like I felt like it was gonna be like an "I love you" kind of moment thing for his brother, even with all the stuff that's been going on and them being at odds with each other. Like they still care about each other, or at least Hunter still cares for Crosshair, and that like the dream holding him back where he couldn't. I don't know. It was a really great moment in a dream. You know what I mean? Like. I'm like, if this would have been between Crosshair and Hunter, this would have been so cool. I love that it's about Hunter trying to like, almost trying to tell himself like, don't be a good soldier, be a good person.
Yeah.
And your brother's telling you to do this. Your brother who has always said good soldiers follow orders. Your brother who has always said like that soft spot will get you in trouble. Like is like this is what you got to be a soldier. Being a good person is better. Do that.
No, it's that theme of like. There's your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is just as much you as your conscious mind is. You just got to be able to listen to it and try to understand what it's trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that was one of the last parts. We kind of talked about a couple of the last things, the credits and stuff.
Yep.
The Emperor's emissary that came to visit.
The Emperor's emissary, man. I loved it so much.
That was such a moment there, man. I don't know.
I was like squealing as it happened. I'm like, I know, you don't. God.
And then at the end, they invited Ponder and Sohi and Koru to Pabu?
To Pabu.
So I'm like, well, I wonder what that means, because like I never saw them there, you know. So like, did they get found when they were attacked, or you know, like I don't.
When I rewatch the show, I'll just assume that they're over there. And
if you see a random lady and a masked individual and a baby in their arms, maybe you know, like oh, that's them. I don't know. Maybe they are in there. Maybe they're not. I haven't rewatched it since, but that could be interesting to see. You know.
Again, I think it's kind of like it's that mirror thing too. Like. I'm just going to choose that they lived there. Yeah, they probably had some struggle, but I want to believe that they had a great life, the life that Tech might have been able to have with Fee had they not had to resort to Plan 99.
Plan 99.
Yep.
I did like, what was it? Speaking of Plan 99, they had one where it was like, we got to do Plan 86B.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you mean? Like, well, there's a cliff. It's like, well, what's Plan 86B? Well, there's Plan 86. And then there's a B. And I'm like, all right, whatever. It's like, they always have all these plans. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but they know. They know what it means. That's all that matters. So,
yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a really good one. I hope we get some more with Bad Batch, because like you said, if it was a game during the Clone Wars, that could be really cool. Even stories of them during the Clone Wars could be cool to see, where it's like, what were they like during the war, or what other things and decisions do they have? Because Crosshair is one where it's like, man, I wish I could see them, like those four in their prime, where it's like they are together and working together and they know what they're fighting for at the time. Whereas like things really start to get muddy later on, and it's like, what side should we be in? What are we fighting for? Who are we?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I consider Echo as a valuable part of the Bad Batch, as I do Omega, but I think a game set in the Clone Wars, I'd be happy with that. Maybe you do a thing where it's like N years later and they do something else. I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
But
you could do that.
I love these characters.
They did it in Battlefront.
Yeah.
Right? They jump ahead a little bit.
And I also love Star Wars animation. And the Bad Batch was a huge part of that. I hope that we get to continue that legacy into another show. I mean, we're getting like, smaller things every once in a while, but I am very much looking forward to the Darth Maul show again.
Yeah.
But I'm never done with clones. There's just something about clones that's so interesting to me. And I can't really think of any other franchise or story that hits it the same way with those types of characters.
Yeah.
They're meant to be carbon copies of each other, and they so aren't.
Sure.
It's good stuff.
All right.
That was Sabotage.
Sanctuary.
I'm sorry. Why did I say Sabotage?
I don't know why it said Sabotage.
We were watching something earlier, and someone whispered Sabotage, and it made me laugh.
But that's Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
I hope you guys enjoyed the book as much as we did. I had a lot of fun with it. We also have some more Star Wars in the future, which I'm excited for. We had a trailer that dropped recently. If you missed that reaction for Mandalorian Grogu, that's
Go
up.
Check that out.
That's up now. You can see that. And then, like Eric said, there's Darth Maul and some more stuff in the future. Visions comes before too long, I think, too. Like, some more Star Wars soon. So,
yeah.
But oh, Tetsuo, thank you so much for the sub over on Twitch.
Thank you, Tetsuo.
For 76 months. We really appreciate it.
I also I wanted to read Alice's message in the YouTube chat. It says, I was tainted on Star Wars because I let the internet cloud my judgment on Disney, and then I started watching you guys. And you taught me to forget about that, and now I love Star Wars, so thank you. I appreciate you telling us that, Alice.
Yeah, thank you, Alice.
You know, I do not disparage anybody that doesn't like the direction that stories go in and stuff. But it's always important to remember, anything you're doing online, negativity is the fire you need to get views and clicks, and that's not necessarily the best way to absorb and talk about media.
Sure.
You know,
no, I get you.
So as long as you're guarding yourself a little bit, you can go out and protect your own opinions and not feel like they're being affected by others. But if we affected you a little bit on the other way, I'm happy.
Yeah. The thing that I hate is that I feel bad for the people who like don't enjoy some newer stories and stuff coming around that really enjoyed Star Wars before when they were younger.
Sure.
So I feel bad for them that they don't enjoy it as much. But I think even with like old Legends stuff, like there's so much stuff I've heard about where I'm like, that was Star Wars back then? Like that sounds ridiculous. I don't think I like that story.
Sure.
But my Star Wars was the movies and like some other things. I played games and stuff instead of reading some of the books, you know? Like there's a lot of different things for Star Wars, so I hope that those people who don't like maybe these stories enjoy some other stories.
It's who said it? It's not a meal, it's a buffet. You're not going to like everything on the buffet, but you're going to find some stuff that you like. So if this one's like, hey, this one isn't for me, literally take a step, you're going to find something else.
Yeah.
There's so much out there.
I also try to look like maybe, especially now that it's canceled, Acolyte won't be my favorite like Star Wars like project. I don't know what to call it. Like I might end up watching other things a lot more, but some of the stuff that it adds to like the lore and stuff that we can build upon or do or get little glimpses of, like I'm always like, oh, that's really cool. I may not rewatch it the same as I do some stuff I have like more nostalgia for or maybe more excitement of other characters for, but it's still in there. Like when I was younger, I didn't watch Empire Strikes Back that much. I still like what it does for the story, but I watched like Return of the Jedi and A New Hope a lot more. But that's just my preference, and I think everyone's going to have their own preferences, and I don't tell people that they're wrong for liking Empire Strikes Back just because I didn't like it as much, you know? So hopefully like people can get to enjoy the things they do, and we'll just progress and see how the lore grows as this mythology continues to have more stories and stuff.
As Nexus says, we got 2 books for the Acolyte that we'll eventually get to. So some of those stories and characters will continue. Maybe that will inspire me to go back and rewatch the series. I've certainly rewatched all the lightsaber fights.
The lightsaber fights, like that was some of my favorite stuff from
rewatched
Acolyte.
all those, yeah.
But I think for me, where the story was going to go was more interesting than what we got in the story so far, you know? And I think a lot of times that can be true in a lot of stories where it's like, well, when you get the beginning of the story, like that's not always the most interesting part. Sometimes it's what you really dive into later on and stuff too. And like,
I mean, often
what it was opening up, I think, was interesting.
Think about like your favorite shows. How often is the first season your favorite one?
I mean, one of my favorite shows is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and the first season is probably my least favorite of the entire series, and it really starts to get into some more stories and stuff that I really enjoyed. So, yeah, it's just, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
We'll see.
But we do have another book. However, I don't believe the next book we're going to do is for next time, right?
Yeah.
But we might as well say what it's going to be for us going through, I suppose,
Do
right?
you have it? I didn't write it down. My B.
No, that's all right.
But yeah, our next Badonkagonk is going to be October 23rd. But because October is going to be a very busy month for us, we're actually going to be having Scream Stream We're probably not going to be able to have the time to read a book this month. So,
yeah, that's right. That's what the book is. I forgot.
That's why you forgot. What is the book, Aaron?
I think it's called Canto Bight, a novella collection. I don't know if that's the actual title of it, but it's a novella collection of 4 different authors with 4 stories
about your favorite planet.
About Canto Bight.
Well, here's the thing, Aaron. You have an opportunity for an arc. You know how, like, when we started watching Naruto, and I was like, this Gaara guy sucks. He's so edgy and stupid, you know? And now I'm like, oh, he's the commander-in-chief of the ninja army, you know? You have an opportunity to grow with your love for Canto Bight. Maybe this book will do it.
Maybe. Yeah. Canto Bight is probably, like, my least favorite part of, like, the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, sure.
Like, there might be some parts of episode 2 I like not as much.
Yeah.
But
I get you.
But yeah, I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm not super excited by Canto Bight in general. I do like what it does for the conventional, like, all right, we need like the cantina or, you know, the Coruscant bar where we can like see like the dreads of society and all the different aliens. And Canto Bight like flips that where it's like, here's super high society and all the crazy aliens, you know?
Sure.
So I like it for that part.
I like the story element as they go. I mean, we will talk about this later, but like the story element where it's about the people who are selling like the X-Wings and the TIE fighters and like that kind of stuff. And it's like, look where it comes from.
Where's this money coming from?
Both sides are getting this, you know? So,
Yep.
But yeah, Canto Bight, I think that's just what the book's called, is just Canto Bight. So we'll read that and we will talk about that in November.
Yes.
But October 23rd is going to be our next Badonkagonk. We'll still have a Star Wars podcast. We'll still talk Star Wars, and we'll definitely take questions because we didn't get to anything question-y today.
Dang.
So I think we pulled one about the book at one point, but that was it. So I'm sorry, Gonk. I will do better. We'll do better. Right?
He needs a rest.
All right.
We haven't powered up for too long this month.
Yes, we have. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Join us again October 23rd. Make sure you check out twitch.tv/blindwave throughout October for all the Scream Stream stuff. A lot of scary games we're going to be playing. It should be fun. So, but we'll see you guys back here October 3rd for more Badonkagonk. May the Force be with you.
Go to bed, little Gonk.